Bound to a human in marriage, she trembled, until he showed her a kindness no one else ever had. Lyra pressed her thumb to the bond scanner. The device hummed, etching the marriage contract into the Galactic Registry. Envoy Saul nodded from the podium, his frilled neck ridges quivering with satisfaction. Daniel Carter stood across the low table. The human towered over her, his broad shoulders filling the chamber's dim light. Lyra's pulse spiked. Humans claimed mates on day one, brutal possessive rituals drilled into her since childhood. He reached for her wrist. She flinched back, scales prickling along her arms. Daniel froze, his hand dropped to his side. "Sorry, may I?" Lyra blinked. Her training screamed. Trap, humans feigned weakness to strike. But his blue eyes held steady. No smirk, no hunger. Envoy Saul cleared his throat. "Proceed, Daniel. The bond requires mutual marking." Daniel ignored him. He extended his bare wrist. "You first, Lyra, if that's okay." Her claws hovered over the marker disc. Vecker, her security aide, shifted behind her, his armored tail twitching. "Envoy, this delays the treaty photo. Place it." Zal snapped at Lyra. She snapped the disc onto Daniel's wrist. It beeped, glowing blue. Linked. Now he took hers gently, like handling fragile cargo. The disc clicked into place. No grab, no force. Saul ushered them out. "Shared quarters await. Produce heirs soon, or the alliance fractures." Lyra's stomach twisted. Heirs, with a human. Daniel walked beside her down the station corridor. His boots thudded softly on the deck plates. She kept 3 paces away, scanning bulkheads for vents. Vecker flanked her. "Human, maintain distance. Intimacy is leverage for your kind." Daniel glanced at him. Noted. He didn't argue. They reached the quarters hatch. It hissed open. Lyra bolted inside, straight to the washroom. She slapped the lock panel. The door sealed with a thunk. Heart hammering, she mapped the space. Ventilation grate above the sonic shower. Too narrow for her frame. Waste recycler panel, bolted tight. Emergency hatch? None. Trapped. Footsteps padded outside. Daniel's voice filtered through. "Lyra? I left a ration kit and water by the door." "Take your time." She crouched, ears straining. No pounding fists. No demands. A soft scrape. Something slid under the door. Fabric rustled. Lyra waited 10 minutes. 20. Silence. She cracked the door. A sealed ration pack sat there. Standard station issue. Nutrient-dense for mixed biologies. Beside it a flimsy card. Words in crisp galactic standard. Consent card. Check yes, no negotiate for any touch, shared space or intimacy. Valid until revoked. Your rules. Daniel, her frills flattened in shock. Humans didn't do this. They took. Vecker's voice crackled over her calm. "Lyra, report. Is he pressuring you?" "No." She pocketed the card. Stepped out. Daniel sat cross-legged on the deck, back to the bulkhead. 2 meters away. He looked up, hands visible. "Settled?" She straightened. "Separate sleeping zones. Now." He nodded. Rose smoothly. "Agreed. I'll take the lounge alcove. You get the bed platform." No hesitation. No barter. Lyra scanned the quarters. Compact. 1 bed platform with grav field adjusters, a lounge nook with fold-down pallet, galley unit, and viewport to the stars. Forced proximity. Saul's design. "Why?" she demanded. Daniel unpacked his duffel. Protein bars, tools, a data slate. "Why what?" "The card. The space. You could force..." "Could, but won't." He met her gaze. "Marriage is duty for me. Treaty logistics. I handle supply chains, not conquests." Vecker burst in. Scanner raised. Scans clear. No sedatives detected. Daniel didn't flinch. "Evening, Vecker," the aide grunted. "Envoy Saul summons you both. Compliance check." Lyra followed them out, claws tapping. Daniel matched her shorter stride without crowding. In the envoy's office, Saul lounged behind a holodesk. Marin Holt, the human station mediator, stood beside him, sharp-eyed, tablet in hand. "Progress?" Saul's ridges flared. Lyra tensed. "Lie or truth?" Daniel spoke first. "Bond marked. Quarters assigned. Separate zones established." Holt raised a brow. "Separate? Treaty expects unity. Unity builds on trust. Daniel said. Rushing fails supply lines. Saul hissed. Heirs by cycle's end, or I dissolve this. Lyra's scales itched. Dissolve meant exile, her family disgraced. Back in quarters, she claimed the bed platform. Daniel rigged the lounge pallet with extra padding from storage, efficient. No waste. She watched from the platform as he calibrated the galley. Human food differs. Try this. He slid over a synthesized protein sheet. Mild, scaled for her biology. She nibbled. Neutral flavor. Safe. Why kindness? She asked. He paused, stirring a pot. Steam carried savory notes. Herb analogs. Kindness is baseline. Logistics. Keep your crew fed, happy. Mission succeeds. Crew, not mate. Night cycle dimmed the lights. Lyra lay rigid, frills alert. Daniel's breathing evened from the lounge. No approach. Vecker calmed again. Status? Sleeping. Depra. Good. Humans erode barriers with patience. She ended the link, stared at the consent card by her pillow. Morning cycle chimed. Daniel rose first. Brewed tea, her preference, logged in station files, handed it over at arm's length. Meeting with Holt today, he said. Supply audit. You coming? Lyra hesitated. Envoy Saul restricted her, but Daniel didn't order. She dressed. Followed. In the mediator's bay, Holt reviewed manifests. Daniel, your predecessor's marriage collapsed week 2. Assault claims. Daniel nodded. Logged. Won't repeat. Lyra hovered by the door. Humans assaulted. Her lessons. Holt eyed her. Lyra, any issues? She glanced at Daniel. Steady hands on the slate. No. Intimacy report? Building, Daniel said. The envoy's tail lashed. Accelerate. Or I assign Vecker oversight. Daniel's jaw tightened. First crack. But he exhaled. Understood. Back in quarters, Lyra cornered him. You fear, Saul? Fear. Respect chain of command. He unpacked tools, fixed a flickering light panel. Sparks died. Steady glow returned. Her vents whistled soft alarm. Humans fixed things. Broke them too. That evening station alert blared. Hull breach. Sector 7. Evacuate non-essentials. Saul's orders, stay put. Daniel grabbed his kit. With me. Evac route. Vecker calmed panic. Lyra. Bunker. She followed Daniel. Corridors jammed. He shouldered through, guiding her with light touches, elbow only. After a glance, consent? He murmured. Yes, she whispered. Breach sealed by teams. False alarm. Micrometeor. Safe. She trembled. You knew? Logistics prep. He handed water. Always. Saul hailed. You left quarters? Reckless. Daniel. Protected asset. Lyra clutched the card. Asset. Not property. Night 2. She adjusted the grav field. Deeper sleep. Daniel tinkered in the galley. Whistled. Odd human tune. Low and rhythmic. Her frills uncurled slightly. Music. Not threat. Vecker entered for scan. Still separate? Yes. But she didn't lock the washroom. Holt messaged Daniel privately. Lyra glimpsed. Saul pushing dissolution. Produce proof or lose her. Daniel deleted it. No reaction. Lyra feigned sleep. Listened. Morning 3. Galley stocked fresh. Fruits from Hydra Bay. Her enzymes compatible. Why stock for me? She asked. Team eats. He grinned faint. First smile. Warm. Not predatory. Team. Saul summoned again. Physical exam. Fertility sync. Lyra paled. Handlers poked. Prodded. Daniel blocked the door, with consent card present. Per rules. Zal sputtered. Lyra slammed the quarters door behind her. 10 rules. Now, or I tell Saul you violate protocol. Daniel set down his kit. Nodded once. List them. She paced the narrow space. Frills rigid. Rule 1. No touching without the card. Ever. She thrust the laminated consent square at him. He clipped it to his collar. Visible. Done. Rule 2. Sleep shifts separate. You take the deck slab. Confirmed. He dragged the spare pad from storage. 3. No eye contact longer than 3 seconds. Humans stared to dominate. He blinked away, kept his gaze on the floor grid. Adjusted. Her voice sharpened. 4. Food separate. I prep mine. You touch nothing of mine. Galley divided. He marked the counter with tape. 5. Lights full spectrum. My eyes burn under human white. Panel access. He popped the housing. Tweaked sliders. Violet hues bloomed soft across the walls. 6. No questions about my body. No scans. No comments. Privacy absolute. 7. Door unlocked only when I'm inside alone. Chime first. He pulled a fabricator chit. Minutes later, a soft bell wired to the panel. Tested it. Ding. 8. No human music. No whistling. Disrupts my cycles. Tuner muted. 9. Report to Vecker every move. You're watched. Already logging. She leaned close. Testing. No intimacy. No attempts. Dissolution if you push. He met her eyes. Exactly 3 seconds. Oath held. Break any. You call Sal. She exhaled. Frills twitched down half an inch. He moved without pause. Labeled cabinets in her script. Spores only. Enzyme safe. Adjusted the lighting fixture permanent. Installed the chime with a final ding. Vecker commit in. Status? Rule set? Lyra said. He complies. Monitor. Vecker cut the line. Daniel stepped back. Quarters functional? She scanned. No traps. No stairs. Adequate. Next cycle, corridors buzzed with off-shift crews. Lyra shadowed Daniel to the atrium hub. Public test. Saul watched from a balcony. Perfect. She bumped his arm deliberate. Loud enough for the crowd. Clumsy beast. Watch your mass. Heads turned. Alien murmurs rippled. Human aggression imminent. Daniel stumbled theatrical. Caught himself on a rail. Grinned wide. Whoa, Lyra, you got moves like a grav dance pro. Teach me that spin? Laughter erupted. A Krell tech slapped his knee. She dodged you clean, Terran. Lyra froze. No snap, no roar. He bowed mock. Offered his elbow. Card clipped bright. Escort or solo strut? She ignored it, stalked ahead. Crowd dispersed, chuckling. Saul's glare burned from above. Back in quarters, her calm pinged private. Vecker's voice hissed. Report filed. His humor. Predatory patience. Bates compliance. Double monitoring. Drones on your door. Lyra's frills clamped. Understood. Daniel entered quiet, no questions. Tinkered with a cargo manifest on his slate. She watched him sidelong. Steady hands. No edge. Hunger gnawed mid-shift. Mess hall thrummed. Mixed crews shoveling rations. Lyra followed unbidden. Tested again. Public proof. Daniel cued. Grabbed a tray. Spooned gray protein mash. Human standard. She darted forward. Slapped the spoon away. Mosh splattered. Allergen. Vecra nuts. Your throat swells in minutes. Silence crashed. Forks paused. Vecker loomed at the line's end. Claws twitching. Daniel froze. Tray steady. You sure? List memorized. Your med file leaked. Enzymes mismatch. He dumped the mash. Swapped for synth gel. Saved me a medevac. Thanks. Crew exhaled. A human cook nodded. Good eye, Lyra. Owe you. Vaker shoved through. Assault? On human asset? Prevention, Daniel said. Calm. Log it protocol. Lyra's pulse raced. No anger. No grab. He just nodded to her. She retreated to their table. Picked at her spore loaf. Watched him eat. Gel bland. But he savored it. Whistled faint. Stopped abrupt. Rule 8. Why? She blurted. Logistics. Know your scans inside out. Team intel. Not yours. Ours. He shrugged. Duty of care. Treaty holds if we both breathe. Vecker hovered. Scanned the tray remnants. No poison, but intent noted. Human restraint escalates risk. Escalates? Lyra snapped. He discarded. Patience praise, Vecker muttered. Calm Sal. Closer watch. Drone feed live. Marin Holt pinged Daniel's public slate. Visible. Sal escalates dissolution push. Public proof needed. Intimacy log or forfeit. Daniel glanced. Deleted. No flicker. Lyra's frills uncurled a fraction. Public eyes everywhere. Vecker's drones hummed faint outside the vents. She leaned in. Whisper. They want you to fail. Us. He pushed a fresh spore pack her way. Labeled, Eat. Shift ends soon. Cargo bay alert blared. Unsecured pallet bay 4. Logistics respond. Daniel rose, grabbed his harness. Stay or evac. She clutched the consent card, tucked it in her vest, stood. Mess hall cleared fast. Daniel led. Light elbow touch. Glanced first. Route clear? Yes. Pallet teetered massive. Human crates. Alien handlers scattered. He wedged under. Braced. Pull straps. Steady. Lyra gripped. Hauled with him. Muscles burned. Her species leverage strong. Pallet locked. Crew cheered. Terran Bull! Lyra anchor. Vecker arrived late. Scowled. Unauthorized labor. Risk to asset. Secured, Daniel said. Wiped sweat. Offered water bulb. Hydrate. She took it. Sipped. Cool. Unpoisoned. Sol stormed in via holo. Public stunts. Fertility exam pending. Produce heirs or dissolve. Daniel blocked the projection casual. Consent first. Rules. Holo flickered. Zal sputtered again. Insolence. Lyra stepped forward. Rules hold, or I walk. Sal vanished. Vecker's claws clicked. This changes nothing. Monitoring triples. Daniel unclipped his harness. Hung it neat, no boast. Night cycle fell. Quarters dimmed violet. Lara adjusted grave higher. Her comfort. He took the slab without gripe. She lay awake, listened to his breaths, even. No schemes. Frills relaxed full. First time, morning 4. Galley hummed. He stocked enzymes fresh. Labeled, Lyra Prime. Why persist? She asked. Logistics. Plans adapt. You? She paused, touched the card. Testing ends, maybe. His faint grin returned, warm. Com buzzed. Holt private. Sol files breach. Proof or war clause triggers. Daniel deleted. Whistled low. Stopped. Glanced. Chime if needed. Ding sounded soft from the door. Vecker burst in unannounced. Breach. Intruder drill. To bunker! Lyra tensed. Daniel grabbed kits. With me. Protocol. She followed. Heart pounding, not fear. Trust. Corridors jammed again. He cleared path. Elbow light. Safe. Bunker sealed. False drill. Sensor glitch. Safe. She clutched his sleeve. First unprompted touch. You knew. Prep. He handed water. Always. Together again? Together again? Proof. Protected. Daniel said. Lyra spoke up. My choice. Frills bloomed defiant. Vecker's eyes narrowed. Predatory wins, but she saw different. Steady. Kind. Door chime. Dinged. Envoy. Inbound. Test. Incoming. Sol burst through the door. Claws scraped the deck. Compliance exam. Now. Lyra's frills snapped shut. She stood from the galley stool. Daniel paused mid-sip of his ration pack. His eyes flicked to her. Steady. Vecker flanked Sol. Rifle slung low. Move. Restricted wing. No choice. Sol hissed. Grabbed Lyra's upper arm. Tugged her forward. Her claws dug into the deck for balance. Daniel rose. Silent. Followed. Corridors blurred. Sol's grip bruised. Lyra's tail dragged. Heart thrummed. Compliance exams meant probes. Scans. Proof of human influence. Her training screamed. Resist. Fail the treaty. Submit. Confirm contamination. Elevator hissed open. Restricted lab level. Sterile lights buzzed. Air chilled her scales. Sol shoved her toward the door. Article 7. Verify purity. Door panels parted. Lab techs waited inside. Hoods up. Trays gleamed with injectors. Lyra froze. Legs locked. Frills quivered flat. Surrender signal. Punishment loomed. Better than violation. Sol yanked. Inside. Daniel stepped between. Filled the gap. His frame blocked the techs. Broad shoulders squared. No shove. Just presence. Treaty Clause 14b. Sol recoiled. Human. Stand. Down. Daniel tapped his wrist com. Projected the clause hologram. Words glowed blue. No invasive procedures on bonded parties without mutual consent and mediator oversight. Techs shifted. One reached for a scanner. Daniel's voice cut flat. That's an order under logistics oversight. I'm station supply chain lead. Your equipment traces to my manifests. Pull this, and I flag embargo. Sol's spines flared. You defend her? After breach? Defend the treaty. Daniel didn't glance back, kept eyes on the techs. Call Holt. Verify. Vecker's rifle twitched. Predator tactic. Lara's breath caught. Daniel's boots planted firm. No weapons. Just words. Law. Her claws uncurled slight. Holt's voice crackled over comm. Report. Lab holdup. Clause 14B invoked. No exam proceeds. Pause. Holt sighed. Stand down, Sol. He's right. Log it clean. Sol spat static. Released Lyra's arm. Tex retreated. Door hissed shut. Daniel turned. Nodded once to Lyra. Clear. Vecker snarled. This escalates. File it, Daniel said. Pulled his comm. Thumb to form. Official complaint. Unauthorized restraint. Submitted. Daniel Carter. Points dinged on his status. Disciplinary hit. Visible to all. Sol stormed off. Vecker trailed. Rifle high. Lyra walked beside Daniel. Quarters bound. Her tail brushed his calf accidental. He didn't flinch. Silence stretched. Corridors emptied. Night cycle loomed. Why? Her voice scratched. Obey, Sol. No points. Easy. He glanced down. Faint grin tugged. Logistics. Shortcuts break chains. You good? Frills twitched half open. Probes hurt. Check 4. Changes. Changes? He stalked the galley enzyme rack as they entered. Labeled precise. Lyra Prime. Human touch. Corrupts. She sank to stool. Watched his hands. Calm. Competent. No grab. He poured water. Treaty says partners. Not prisoners. Door chimed. Vecker again. Sol demands logs. Your points. Filed. Daniel handed Lyra her enzyme vial. Ignored Vecker. Vecker's eyes narrowed on the touch. Leverage. Lyra clutched the vial. Warm in claws. My vial. Vecker left. Door sealed. Daniel adjusted grave panel to her comfort level. No ask. Rest. She lay on her slab that night. Frills stayed half-bloomed. His breaths even across the room. Steady anchor. Morning 5 dawned. Galley hummed. Daniel prepped kits, double-stocked. Her enzymes first. Comm buzzed. Holt private. Sol pushes war clause. Your complaint flags you. Quiet it. Daniel deleted. Whistled low. Cut off. Glanced her way. Chime if needed. She nodded. Touched the label. Lyra Prime. Trust flickered. Alert blared. Sector breach. Evac to labs. Lyra tensed. Sol's revenge. Daniel grabbed kits. With me. Protocol. Vecker hammered the door. Too restricted wing. Now. No. Daniel blocked. Bunkers first. Treaty evac order. Vecker shoved. Daniel held ground. Lyra clutched his sleeve. First grip. Sol arrived. Labs. Compliance route. Daniel cited again. Clause 9C. Primary evac to secure bunkers. Hologram up. Holt patched in. Carter's right. Bunkers. Sol fumed. Vec heard it anyway. Corridors jammed. Daniel cleared path. Elbowed light through crowds. His hand hovered her back, guiding. Not grabbing. Bunkers sealed. False alarm. Hull stress test. Safe. Lyra released his sleeve. Frills bloomed full. You knew. Patterns. He handed water pouch. Checked her seals. Always prep. Together. Proof of bond. Protected, Daniel said. Lyra leaned in. My choice. Voice firm. Vecker snorted. Human wins. Door unsealed. They walked back. Side by side. Her tail swayed loose. Quarters. Daniel filed another log. Evac compliance. Points accepted. Hit his tally. Why points? Lyra asked. Sat close. First time. Duty. He capped enzymes. Chain holds. She touched his hand. Claws light. Teach me clauses. His grin warmed. Deal. Comm buzzed urgent. Sol. Full audit. Quarters raid at cycle end. Daniel stood. Lyra's frills flared defiant. Night cycle fell. Quarters dimmed violet. Daniel adjusted lights low, her night sight. She watched him hang harness. Neat, precise. Raid chime hit. Becker led. Saul behind, scanners out. All devices, inspect. Daniel stepped front. Clause 22. Private quarters exempt post-bond. Saul laughed, sharp. Prove bond. Lyra rose. Slid arm through Daniel's. Pressed side to side. Frills open wide. Trust signal. Vec froze. Scanner dropped. Saul's spines wilted. Invalid. Forced. My choice, Lyra said. Claws laced his fingers. First hold. Daniel didn't pull. Stood steady. Holt command. Audit off. Logs show consent. Saul retreated. Vecker trailed. Muttered. Unnatural. Door sealed. Silence. Lyra released slow. Heat lingered. You blocked. Again. Partners. He offered water. Sleep. She nodded. Lay down. Frills full bloom. His breaths synced hers. Even. Safe. Morning seeks. Galley. He cooked. Human ration modded mild. Her enzymes beside. Why persist? She asked, soft. Logistics. Grin faint. You. Trust. She took his hand. Pulled close. Lips brushed his knuckles. Test. He stilled. Then cupped her frill base. Gentle. Good. Calm buzzed. Holt. Treaty holds. Saul sidelined. Your point's cleared. Daniel deleted. Whistled full tune. No stop. Lyra laughed. Scales flushed. First. Alert soft. Cultural exchange session. Joint. Vecker at door. Eyes wide. Together? Daniel nodded. Lyra stood. Arm in arm. Saul waited outside. Spines low. This proceeds. Partners, Lyra said. They walked. Her fear gone. Bond, real. But Vecker whispered to Saul. Rifle gripped tight. New test brewed. Lyra yanked the galley latch. It snapped, jagged. Her claw sliced open on the broken edge. Blood welled fast, blue and thick. She clamped her frill shut. No cry. Medical logs meant audits, Saul's scans. Proof of human negligence. She twisted away, hid the hand behind her thigh. Daniel stood at the counter, slicing ration blocks. His back turned. Water hissed in the cooker. Past the enzyme vial? He glanced over. Her good claw fumbled it across. Pain throbbed. She edged toward the waste chute. Wipe it clean. No trace. He pivoted, eyes locked on her stance. Lyra. She froze. Frills quivered half shut. Show me. Voice even. No demand. She extended the hand slow. Blood dripped onto the deck grate. 1, 2. Daniel crossed in 2 strides. Gripped her wrist light, tilted it under the sink stream. Cold water flushed the cut. Sting flared. She hissed. Deep, but clean. He dried it with a sterile pad. No gloves, bare fingers on her scales. Steady pressure. From his belt pouch, he pulled a field patch. Human tech. Thin foil. Hummed active. Pressed it over the wound. Seal bonded instant. Pain dulled to echo. No report. He logged his pad. Blank entry. Deleted swipe. Done. Her frills parted slight. Why? Partners. He released her hand. Tested the flex. Works. She curled claws. No pull. Perfect. No debt. Logistics. Grin faint. Fix what's broke. Heat flushed her vents. First unlogged touch. No leverage. No file. Alert chimed. Maintenance rotation. Joint optional. Daniel checked his chrono. Galley secure. Want to shadow? She nodded. Frills wide. Followed him down the corridor. Bare walls hummed with station vents. Her claws clicked soft on deck. His boots thudded sure. Why bare hands? She pointed at his kit bag. No gloves packed. Humans grip tools raw. Vecker scans every contact. He shouldered a panel door. Maintenance bay yawned. Pipes snaked. Conduits glowed. Gloves dull feedback. Feel the vibe first. Vecker loomed at the far hatch. Rifle slung. Eyes narrowed on Daniel's palms. Protocol. Vecker growled. Suit up. Daniel unpacked his scanner, ignored him. 3-step check. Watch. Frills perked. Step 1. Visual. He swept the conduit latch. Cracks. Where? None. Smooth alloy. Step 2. Audio. Tapped light. Ping echoed clear. Dead sound means void. Clean chime. Step 3. Flex. Gripped barehanded. Twisted slow. Latch turn smooth. Catch means bind. Free. Your turn. He handed her the scanner. Stepped back. Vecker stiffened. Untrained. Lyra ran step 1. Visual clear. Audio pinged true. Flexed the latch. Solid. Good. Daniel nodded. Next conduit. She moved to it. Claws precise. Step by step. Vecker's spines bristled. Rifle grip tightened. Human trick. Vecker muttered. Lures her close. Lyra ignored. Finished the row. Scales flushed warm. Competence hummed in her vents. Humans touched chaos bare. Thrived. Daniel packed up. Solid work. Galley next? Back in quarters. She claimed the cooker, traditional broth. Her goal, controlled offering. No sudden serve. Test his zone. Chopped root bulbs, simmered with vent salts. Aroma filled the space. Earthy, sharp. Her enzymes vial sat aside. Human safe mod. Bowl steamed ready. She set it in his chair zone. Edge of table. Not center. Not touch. Daniel entered from the bunk. Nose twitched. Smells good. Broth. She frill shut half. Watched his hands. He sat. Dipped spoon. Tasted slow. Spice hits right. Thanks. No grab. No claim. Ade measured. Bowl to his lips at end. Clean scrape. Custom? He rinsed it. Stacked with his. Offering. Her claws laced. Zone respect. Got it. He dried hands. Offered palm up. Dance? Alert overrode. Cultural exchange. Mandatory. Vecker at door again. Spines rigid. Separate entry. Sol orders. Lyra tensed. Last session. Probes. Scans. Prove bond. Games. Daniel stood. Arm out. Together. She slid claw through. Pressed side. Frills open. Trust signal. Vecker's scanner word. Intimate contact logged. Leverage pattern. Not leverage. Lyra pulled Daniel close. Vents. Synced his breath. Bond. They walked. Corridor lights flickered. Sol waited at exchange hall. Spines arched high. Proceeds? Sol's voice dripped acid. Or fractures? Partners? Lyra held firm. Inside, Marin Holt paced the demo floor. Holo projectors hummed. Alien artifacts mixed human tools. Cultural exchange. Treaty glue. Display stations. Holt tapped a pad. Pair up. Exchange skills. Sol shoved a tray forward. Sharp blades. Human carving. Lyra first. Blades glinted. No sheaths. Her cut hand throbbed memory. Daniel scanned them barehanded. Edges dull. Skip. Compliance. Sol's spines flared. Or audit. Lyra gripped one. Claw tested edge. Nicked scale. Tiny. Ignored. 3-step. Daniel murmured low. Only her ears. Visual. Chips on blade. Audio. Scraped all. Lex. Wobble in hilt. Unsafe.
She set it down. Frills fell.
Sol hissed. Rejection. Failure. Holt cut in. Human protocol works. Log it. Vecker circled close. Rifle hummed charge. She mimics. Control slip. Daniel unpacked his kit. Pulled a proper carver. Balanced. Sharp. True. Demo mine. He carved a root block. 3 cuts. Perfect frill shape. Offered it. Lyra took. Frills bloomed full. Trade. She pulled broth vial from pouch. Poured sample. Enzyme balance. Taste. He sipped. Nodded. Mod for next. Sol rattled spines. Irrelevant. Intimacy test next. Paulo shifted. Bed sim. Scan pads. Bond metrics. Private. Lyra's vents iced. Probes again. No. Daniel blocked the hollow. Consent logs clear. Vecker raised rifle. Orders. Holt. Comed station sec. Stand down. Treaty clause. Spousal privacy. Sol retreated spines low. New directive incoming. Session ended. They exited arm in arm. Vecker trailed. Whispered furious into comm. Quarters sealed. Lyra released Daniel's arm. Keat lingered. Again. Blocked. Partners. He checked her patch, intact. Broth tomorrow? She nodded. Claws brushed his knuckles, lingered. First hold unforced, comm buzzed private. Holt to Daniel. Saul pushes medscan. Your no-log patch flagged. Cover? Daniel deleted. No reply. Lyra caught the delete swipe. Frills quivered. Test. He met her eyes. Steady. Handle it. Alert. Flashed red. Quarantine drill. Interspecies quarters isolate. Saul oversight. Door locked. Vecker's voice outside. Compliance check. Now. Her claws dug deck. New brew boiled. Trust held, but isolation cracked it open. Becker's claws scraped the door panel. Compliance check. Open now, Lyra Vey. Lyra froze mid-stir. Her broth vial steamed on the counter. Daniel stepped forward. He tapped the intercom. Quarantine active. Treaty privacy holds. Vec snarled. Rumors say otherwise. Human coercion. Tribunal summons you both.
5 minutes. The panel went dark.
Lyra's frills clamped tight. Coercion? Her vents chilled. Training flashed. Humans manipulate. Report violations. Isolate threat. Daniel checked his wrist comm. Station nets buzzing. Leaked patch log. They think I faked consent records. He grabbed her cloak. Tribunal's formal. We go together. She clutched the vial. Dropped it. Glass shattered. Script. I recite. Human pressured intimacy. Fear confirmed. He knelt. Swept shards with bare hands. No flinch. No. Say what happened.
He stood, held her gaze.
Your words. Envoy Saul waited in the hall. Spines flared high. Vecker flanked him, rifle low. Marin Holt hovered behind, tablet glowing. Escort to Chamber 3, neutral ground. Daniel offered his arm. Lyra took it. Claws gripped fabric. They walked. Whispers echoed from passing vents. Human trap. She blooms for him. The tribunal chamber hummed. Hollow panels circled a raised dais. 3 elders perched. 2 Krelath with quivering spines, 1 human observer linked to Holt. Saul projected the rumor feed. Witness. Lyra Vey. State violations. Lyra stepped onto the dais. Scans prickled her scales. Training locked her throat. Human Daniel Carter pressured intimacy. Consent coerced. Fear protocol engaged. Daniel tensed beside her, but he stayed silent. Saul leaned in. Details. Site incidents, she recited. Bed sim test. He blocked, but prior, carving demo. Broth trade. Physical contact unlogged. The elders rustled. Unlogged touch. Indicates leverage. Daniel cut in. Ask her. Not the script. Saul's spines rattled. Irrelevant. Proceed. Lyra faltered. Frills twitched. Daniel's voice dropped low. For her ears only. Your truth. Not theirs. She straightened. Vents cleared. No. Wrong. Heads snapped up. Daniel never touched without consent. Carving. He offered tool. I took. First trade. My broth for his cut root. Frills bloomed from taste, not force. The human elder tapped notes. Specifics. Quarantine. Door locked. Vec demanded entry. Daniel cited treaty. Protected privacy. She met Saul's glare. Patch. His log. Clean. No fakes. Saul hissed. Manipulated testimony. Review footage. Holo flickered. Clips played. Daniel's hand on her arm exiting session. Her claws brushing his knuckles. Edited tight. No context. See? Captive compliance. Lyra's claws dug the dais. Lies. Full log. Alarms blared. Red lights pulsed. Security lockdown. Ret. In interspecies quarters. Evacuate witnesses. Vecker yanked his rifle. Saul's leak triggered it. Perimeter breach false flag. Panic rippled. Elders scrambled. Holt commented frantically. Daniel, root out. Saul blocked the main exit. Spines locked wide. Lyra stays. Reassess. Daniel grabbed her wrist, pulled her toward a side grate. Service duct. Move. She hesitated. Vents. Iced.
Humans dangerous. Training screamed trap.
He pried the grate. Cool air rushed out. Trust now. Or Saul wins. Her claws flexed. She dove in. Daniel followed. Ducts twisted narrow. His shoulders scraped metal. He led steady. Left at junction, emergency hatch. Klaxons wailed behind. Vecker's roar echoed. Halt! Orders! They dropped into a dim corridor. Sealed bulkheads glowed hazard red. Daniel scanned a panel. Lockdown full. Sol's playing hard. Lara's heart vents hammered. Vecker. Call him. Daniel pulled his comm. Slapped it into her palm. You do it. Direct line. Your voice. She stared at the device. Human tech. Simple grid. Vecker's code blinked priority. Thumb hovered. Shouts neared. Boots thudded. Call, Daniel said. Flat, no push. Her claw tapped. Connected. Becker. Lyra. Pulse breach. Sol's leak. Static crackled. Vecker's voice barked. Position. Confirm human not coercing. Daniel leads evac. Consent full. Meet sublevel 4. Click. Line held. Daniel nodded once. Good. He punched an override. Hatch hissed open. Stairs down. Stay close. They descended. Her frills brushed his back. Heat from his steps warmed the air. No grab. No force. Sublevel 4 loomed dim. Vecker burst from shadows. Rifle swept Daniel. Hands up, human. Lyra stepped between. Stand down. He saved us. Vecker's vents cycled. Rifle lowered a fraction. Sol's directive, isolate her. Holt's voice cut through comms. Lockdown lifting. Tribunal reconvenes. Rumors debunked. Your testimony logged, Lyra. Zal's spines would be drooping now. Lyra felt it. Her own frills eased. Daniel retrieved his comm. Pocketed it. Broth later? She nodded. Claws grazed his sleeve. Held. Vecker grumbled. Escort resumes. No more ducts. They climbed back. Station lights flickered to green. Whispers shifted in vents. She chose. Human waited. Quarters door unsealed. Inside, broth residue gleamed. Lyra pulled a fresh vial. Poured sample. Modded. Less enzyme. He sipped. Nodded. Perfect. Calm buzzed. Sol. New test. Psychological eval. Solo. Her frills quivered. Daniel deleted it. Met her eyes. Handle. She took the comm. Swiped accept. Together. But a new alert flashed. Unverified footage surfaces. Intimacy metrics tampered. Vecker's voice outside again. Open. Full scan. Trust bent, but her claws stayed firm. Vecker hammered the door. Open for scan. Protocol demands it. Lyra's claws tightened on Daniel's sleeve. Her frills flattened against the chill whispers seeping through vents. Ignore him.
Daniel nodded. He stepped to the panel, locked it down.
Sol's games again. The station shuddered. Alarms pierced the air. Sharp, unrelenting. Red lights pulsed. Emergency lockdown. All sectors sealed. Environmental systems offline. Air recyclers whined to a halt. Frost rimmed the viewport. Lara's vents seized. Her skin prickled, scales tightening into rigid plates. Cathari needed 32 degrees. This drop, 25 maybe less, triggered shutdown. Muscles locked, vision blurred at edges. She staggered. Claws scraped the bulkhead. Daniel. Out. Now. He caught her elbow. Gentle pressure. No yank. What's wrong? Cold. My response. Panic reflex. Claws extend. Injuries you. Words slurred. Legs buckled. She collapsed to the deck. Frills slamming shut. Panic surged. Instinct screamed. Fight the threat. Human threat. Daniel knelt at arm's length. Exactly 3 spans. For safe distance, as she'd drilled into him weeks ago. Lyra, breathe. Tell me what to do. Vecker's voice boomed outside. Human. Release her. Envoy Sol orders extraction. Stay back, Daniel called. He yanked open a locker, ripped out thermal blankets. Power pack from his kit. Logistic salvage, always prepared. Wires stripped with a multi-tool. He jury-rigged leads to the pack's core. Sparks flew. Heater coil glowed red. Heat bloomed. He piled blankets around her, forming a nest. Coiled the portable unit inside, tethered to the pack. Warmth radiated, chasing frost from her scales. But not enough. Core temp plummeted. Shivers racked her. He backed to the wall, hands visible. Heaters at max. I'm here. Your call. Her vents wheezed, panic reflex built, claws flexed involuntary. One slash could shred his arm. Humans healed fast, but pain lingered. Saul's whispers echoed in memory. Humans manipulate through touch. They weaponize care. Comms crackled. Saul's voice. Lara. Respond. Vecker reports anomaly. Tampered metrics confirm intimacy coercion. Tribunal pauses. Extract you now. No. Lyra gasped. Claws dug into blanket. Daniel's heater hummed steady. His breath fogged less than hers. Human norm. Resilient to cold. But she needed more. Vecker pounded again. Open, or I breach. Holt cut in on open channel. Carter, stand down. Treaty observers inbound. Keep it clean. No heroics. Daniel silenced his comm, eyes on her. Patient. Lara's vision tunneled. Body locked further. Shut down imminent. Organs slowing. She had to choose. Fear said flee him. Survival said trust the acts. Claw shot out. Snagged his sleeve. Pulled. Stop. Don't move. He froze. Perfect compliance. Skin contact warming. She named it precise. Per Cathari protocol. Ventral hold. Palms to frill bases. No pressure. Wait for stabilized signal. Daniel slid forward on knees. Sleeves rolled. Palms extended. Skin bare and warm. He pressed exactly, light, to the pulsing frill roots at her collar. Heat seeped in. Human normal 37 degrees. Steady pulse synced to hers. No grab. No advance. Just held. Her vents eased. Panic reflex ebbed. Claws retracted. Scales softened. Warmth flooded core. Breathing deepened. Cycle, hold, release. Vec roared. Breaching in 10. Daniel didn't flinch. Palms steady. Sal, Lyra. Affirm coercion. He rigged systems. Control play. No coercion. Lyra's voice strengthened. He follows protocol. Exact. Alt, Carter. Confirm status. Quiet fixes only. Under control, Daniel said. Palms unmoving. Lyra signaled. Tapped his wrist twice. Stabilize complete. He withdrew slow. She sat up. Frills unfurled halfway. Heat lingered in her skin. Door alarms blared. Vecker's breach charge whined. Daniel stood. Grabbed the heater pack. Options. Open. Partial. Lara rose. Legs held. Show compliance. But we control narrative. He punched the panel. Door cracked 1 meter. Vec shoved rifle through. Scanned her. Vitals. Stable. Lyra stepped forward. Frill's high dominance. Human assist verified. Log it. Vecker's vents cycled doubt. Rifle swept Daniel. Intimacy metrics? Tampered by you? Lyra cut in. Saul's test. Failed. Vecker recoiled. Envoy directive. Holt's voice overrode. Stand down, Vecker. Scans clear. Lockdown lift in progress. Treaty holds. Envoy Sal snarled through comms. This proves nothing. Psychological eval resumes. Solo, Lyra. Prove independence. Daniel pocketed the power pack. Broth first. She nodded. Claws brushed his hand. Brief, deliberate. Mod another vial. Vecker grumbled retreat. Door sealed. Quarters warmed as systems rebooted. Frost melted. Lyra poured fresh broth sample. Enzyme tweakless bitter for his gut. He sipped, nodded approval. Comm buzzed private. Marin Holt. Carter. Good work. But footage leak. Observers question consent. Keep physicals minimal. Treaty fragile. Daniel deleted it. Met Lyra's gaze. Handlers push. We push back? Her frills quivered amusement. Together, but new alert flashed. Unsealed logs. Human override during lockdown. Sabotage suspected. Saul's spines rose in her mind's eye. Vecker's rifle twitched. Lyra's claws flexed. Trust solidified. But whispers grew. He saves to own. Station lights steadied. Whispers in vents shifted. She touched first. Cathari chose. Daniel unpacked his kit. Next mod. She handed the vial, watched his hands. Precise, unhurried. Human normal, extraordinary anchor. Envoy Sal's next test loomed, but her body remembered warmth. Becker's bootsteps faded down the corridor. Lyra sealed the door tighter. Broth steamed between them. Daniel stirred it slow, testing balance. Spice? He asked. Humankind, she tasted. Warmth bloomed again. Not just broth. Comms pinged. Sol, eval now. Solo entry. Lyra deleted it. Looked at Daniel. Rig a delay? He grinned faint. Pulled wires. On it. Heat lingered. Fear thawed, but the alert evolved. Footage verified. Contact confirmed. Tribunal demands witness. Her frills snapped full. Daniel's hand hovered, waited for her signal. She tapped once. Proceed. Station hummed alive. Lockdown scars gleamed. Trust bent no more. Claws firm on his sleeve. Outside, Becker reported to Shadows. She protects him now. Zal's spines drooped. Impossible. Holt chuckled low. Humans adapt. Watch. Lyra pulled Daniel closer. Skin contact protocol, self-initiated. Stay. He held position. Perfect. Breath synced. Core temps matched. New calm. Tribunal reconvenes. Live feed required. Her claws stayed firm. Together. But footage looped station-wide. Her claw on his sleeve. Pull. Whispers roared. Kithari claims human. Fear gone. Choice? Hers. Daniel's palm warmed her frill base again. Steady. Saul's voice cracked. Lyra. Abort. Too late. Station-wide broadcast hit. Bond affirmed. Treaty sealed. Vecker burst back. Rifle hot. Envoy override. Separate now. Door buckled under charge. Daniel yanked blankets. Heater reignited. Nest her. I'll hold the line. Lyra grabbed his arm. No, us. Frills flared defiance. Breach imminent. Trust tested final. Door splintered. Vecker lunged through, rifle leveled at Daniel's chest. Envoy override. Separate now. Lyra's claws dug into Daniel's arm. She yanked him behind her. Frill snapped wide, venom sacs pulsing.
Stand down, Vecker. That's an order.
Vecker froze. His mandibles clicked. Kithari protocol. Human contact corrupts. Sol commands isolation. Daniel stepped forward anyway. Calm. Empty hands open. Easy. No one's fighting. Lyra shoved the complaint log slab into Vecker's chest plate. Daniel's entries glowed. Unauthorized entry attempts, 17. Power surges, 9. Comms intercepts, 42. Read it. Your tests. End. Tell Sol. Vecker's optics scanned. Rifle dipped an inch. This. Logs everything? Everything. Lyra's tail lashed. Daniel tracked it all. No more games. Sol shoved past Vecker. Spines rigid. Lyra, you initiated skin contact. Publicly. The treaty fractures on this breach. Lyra thrust the slab at him. Your breaches first. Log proves sabotage. End the tests or I file with tribunal. Sol's spines wilted. He snatched the slab. Scanned. These. Exaggerated. Verified. Daniel crossed arms. Voice level. Station sensors cross-checked. Marin Holt appeared in the hatchway. Human admin. Tablet in hand. Envoy. My office. Now. Couple stays put. Sol hissed. Annulment. Exile for her. Human repatriation. Holt's eyes narrowed. Not without review. Daniel, quiet transfers on table. Earthside logistics. Clean exit. Daniel shook his head. Pass. Lyra's frills twitched. Transfer? Away from here. From her? Sol seized the moment. See, he flees. Claim annulment, Lyra. Return home. Unsullied. Station alarms whooped soft. Lockdown lifted. Crew chatter echoed corridors. Kithari bonds human. Footage viral. Lyra's core temp spiked. Annulment meant freedom. No more fear drills. No human shadows. But Daniel's palm had warmed her frill base. Steady. No traps. Bolt tapped her tablet. Tribunal feeds live in 10. Statements due. Daniel turned to Lyra. Voice low. Your call. What outcome on record? Her claws flexed. Sol watched. Vecker hovered. Holt waited. Joint quarters. Lyra's voice cut sharp. By my petition. Daniel Carter spouse by choice. Sol recoiled. Madness. Humans manipulate. File it. Lara snatched a compad from the wall unit, thumbed her seal. Formal statement. Lyra Vey claims Daniel Carter. Bond affirmed. Quarters merge. Level 7. Suite 12. Effective immediate. Pad pinged acceptance. Station-wide alert blared. Petition approved. Relocation crews en route. Decker's rifle clattered to the deck. She protects. Holt smirked. Told you. Humans adapt. Cathari choose. Saul stormed out. Tribunal will void this. Lirara ignored him, grabbed Daniel's hand, pulled him into the corridor. Crew froze. Multi-species stares. Cathari dockhands, human techs, Vorth traders. Hollow screens looped the footage. Her claw on his sleeve. She stopped center deck. Frills flared full. Core exposed. In Cathari right, only trusted equals touched here. Venom glands vulnerable. Lifemates only. Lara pressed Daniel's palm to her frill base. Skin to scale. Heat. Synced. Her tail coiled his leg. Anchor gesture. Reserved for warriors proven. Gasps rippled. Bond right public. Daniel held still. No grab. No push. Thumb stroked once. Gentle query. She nodded. Claws laced his fingers. Pulled him closer. Breaths matched. Core temps equalized. Station lights dimmed, ritual low. Vecker knelt. Witnessed. Equals. Holt broadcast. Feed live. Treaty holds. Saul's voice crackled comms. Lyra, abhor. Exile awaits. Too late. Crew cheered. Claws raised. Tails thrashed approval. Lyra met Daniel's eyes. Human blue. Steady. No triumph. Just care. Quarters now? He murmured. She tugged him toward lifts. Hours. Relocation drones whirred in. Bunks fused. Eaters linked. Daniel's kit merged with hers. Broth packets beside scale polish. Saul's final ping. Tribunal reviews at dawn. Prepare defense. Lyra deleted it. Curled tail around Daniel's waist. First night, choice made. He dimmed lights. No pressure. Nest good? Perfect. Her frills brushed his jaw. Trust sealed. Dawn tribunals loomed. But claws stayed laced. Crew decks buzzed below. Whispers evolved. Human didn't conquer. She chose. Vex stood guard outside new door. Rifle slung. No tests. Ever. Holt passed. Nodded. Quiet now. Treaty solid. Inside, Daniel rigged a shared heater. Broth simmered. Lyra watched. Human hands. Precise. Unhurried. Fear. Dust. Choice. Iron. Zal plotted shadows. Tribunal sharpened claws. But her bond pulsed. Public. Chosen. Door sealed. Night deepened. Comms pinged anew. Allies rally. Cathari enclaves affirm. Lyra smiled. Daniel offered broth. She sipped. Warmth bloomed true. Together held. Station spun on. Treaty breathed. Her hand in his. Equals. Vecker's report logged. Human adapts. Cathari leads. Bond unbreakable. Saul's spines drooped permanent. Holt chuckled feeds. Watch them thrive. Lyra pulled Daniel down. Scales to skin. Rights began private. Trust tested. Passed. Dawn waited. They slept synced. Crew dreamed jealous. Bond echoed station-wide. Annulment? Forgotten. Choice? Eternal. But tribunal whispers grew. Saul appeals. Evidence planted? Lyra stirred. Claws ready. Daniel's arm anchored. New day. New fight. Us. Door hummed. Marin entered unannounced. Statement addendum. Daniel's log. Gold. Saul's cooked. Lyra rose. Frills alert. Annulment off? Dead. Holt grinned. Your public rights sealed it. Cathari custom trumps envoy games. Daniel brewed tea. Human leaf. Her scale-safe mix. Next. Joint brief. Treaty tour. Holt eyed them. Show unity. Lyra took Daniel's hand. Stood. Lead. Corridors parted. Crew bowed frills. Vecker trailed. Protective now. My rifle. Yours. Saul's shadow fled. Station united. Bond won. Yet deep scans pinged. Hidden logs. Saul's override codes active. Lyra's tail tensed. Daniel noticed. Squeezed once. Ready. Together. Always.